Hello Earth Signs and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassandra and you're watching Spotless Mind Tarot. Today we are going to be taking a look at the month ahead of November 2021 to see what's in store for you. We'll look at your current energies, the energy stepping in this month, and what your challenges will be. At the end of the video, I'll pull an oracle card for each sign. This reading will be good for your natal and progressed rising sun and moon sign or any other placements that you may have. You can also watch for your dominant element or whichever element resonates for you. These are general messages for collective earth signs, so only take what resonates for you. This video is for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Check out my other videos to receive even more messages from your spirit guides. Alright. So your goal this month, Earth signs, we have the Seven of Cups. Your challenges this month is Temperance. The current energies that you are facing right now, we have the Star, Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Seven of Wands, and the energy stepping in for you this month, we have the Hanged Man, Two of Cups, Five of Cups, and Four of Wands. Alright, pretty interesting so far. I don't think it's going to be too bad of a month for you guys. If anything, I'm getting a feeling that there's a lot up for review this month and a lot of internal work that needs to be done. So we'll see what comes up as the reading goes along. So with the Seven of Cups as the goal and like overall energy of this month, I feel that this is more or less about cutting through illusions than it is being deceived or trapped or tricked by illusions. I feel that a lot of you are having to give up some beliefs or some expectations, some thoughts, ideas that you had that for a fact aren't true, or you were recently exposed to things that made you change your mind or change your perceptions on things. Your perceptions this month seem to be a big focus, and I feel for the most part a lot of you have been dealing with this kind of energy pretty much all year. And especially recently, I feel that there's a lot of belief systems that you have. And it doesn't have to necessarily be like spiritual beliefs, religious beliefs, or anything like that. It's just beliefs as a whole, like things that you thought were to be true or things that you felt to be true may not be, or perhaps you're just changing your stance on something. I feel a lot of you are kind of switching things up and starting to realize how much of what you thought and what you believed aren't really your own beliefs. They're the beliefs of what society, of what your family have placed on you. Which is pretty typical, right? I feel like that goes for everybody, no matter what sign you are. But for earth signs especially, this seems to be a year of really cutting through the fog, of really stepping out of the box, like taking off the rose-colored glasses. And I feel a lot of that does have to do with Pluto and Capricorn. And we are about to have America's very first Pluto return here next year, I believe in March. And so this is a really big deal. Whenever a country or a nation goes through a Pluto return, there's a whole new like reboot in the system, and it's been pretty evident of that happening here in America since 2008 when Pluto had began its transit through Capricorn. And so personally, you know, Pluto is affecting you in a way to dig up things, all things Capricorn related, which if you're not a Capricorn, then it's trining you if you're a Taurus or a Virgo. So if anything, it's giving Taurus and Virgo kind of like a heads up or like a boost. They're probably not as affected compared to like Capricorn. Capricorns have really been going through it, and you know, which Capricorns really go through it anyways, but with Pluto here, it's been you know, if you know a Capricorn, or if you're a Capricorn yourself, you know how deeply transformative the past 10 years have been, you know, 12 years. And so with that said, you know, there's just a lot of digging up. There's a lot of, I'm even getting like inner child work, a lot of inner healing, a lot of having to rely on yourself too, stripping away of old systems, again, beliefs, things that just like, things that once were, things that were tradition or used to have value no longer have value, and the traditions no longer have a place in your life or within society anymore, whatever that is for you. I do feel family is at the forefront as well, because we do have the 10 of Pentacles here in the current energy. So there's just a lot of like ancestral shit going on, basically. There's just a lot of unearthing things from the ground. And I'm being drawn to this cup right here that's literally like sticking out or coming out of the ground. In fact, all the cups are appearing to stick out from the ground. But this cup especially has, it kind of looks like worms, but I believe there's snakes coming out of this cup. So there's, you know, and then there's the cup next to it has a flower growing, you know, and then the cup above them has a crown coming out of it and all that. So there's just like a lot of random shit that you're digging up. There's a lot of good, and then there's a lot of not necessarily bad, but there's a lot of darkness coming out too, within your own psyche. And I feel that this is driving a lot of you crazy. I know, for as far as I'm concerned, the earth signs that I know of, they're definitely going through a lot, and they're definitely dealing with a lot of mental and emotional issues this year in the past couple years. But right now especially, you know, the goal for the month is to don't fall victim, you know, don't be this guy here. Like, don't fall victim to what you uncover about yourself or even about other people. You know, it's all part of the process, and it's absolutely necessary to face your demons and to face your darkness. If you keep running and hiding from it, it's only going to, you know, kick your ass later. It's best to address things as they come up rather than holding them off. And from personal experience, you definitely don't want to suppress shit. You want to let it come up, feel into it, and allow it to show you and teach you what it is it needs to. I know that this can be really painful from personal experience, since I am a Capricorn sun, so you know, this kind of applies for me. This year especially has been extremely like crazy, and a lot of that has to do with like my solar return chart. It's kind of a big mess, but basically I've dug up a lot of like inner child shit and a lot of things from the past that I had suppressed, and a lot of it was suppressed out of trauma and out of fear. And I did it as a defense mechanism, you know, to protect myself. But I'm finding out that now that it's all coming back up, that's really not a great defense mechanism. If anything, it has caused me a lot more harm than it needed to. And so you want to really, you don't want to deny yourself anything that you're feeling. anything that you believe, you know. So even though your belief systems may be challenged and you may be changing your stance on some of your beliefs, you want to still allow yourself to feel it, whatever it is that you feel, and don't feel guilty about it. Don't feel guilty about your desires. Don't feel guilty for being tricked or trapped into whatever it is that you've been facing in your life. You really want to acknowledge it, you know, and it's all part of the process. You know, they say, you know, there's this quote, maybe I'll stick it up on the screen, but yeah, I'll just stick it up on the screen so you could read it. You pause the video if you want. So basically this quote, wherever I put it, you know, it says to really go through it and to rise above it instead of falling victim to it. You know, whatever this darkness is for you, because it will make you stronger and it will make you into a far more powerful being than you are right now and already. So pretty interesting stuff. It's pretty heavy. It does feel really heavy. But at the same time, I'm getting some relief. I feel like this is a month of relief from a lot of these trapped emotions, trapped thoughts, trapped beliefs, trapped feelings, all that stuff. So, you know, we're working on it. Your challenges this month, we have Temperance. Fire signs got this too as their challenge, although it had a far different meaning because when I had pulled it, it had fell out in reverse. In this deck, the Cosmic Tarot, I don't do reversals, but I had mentioned to them that we need to, for the fire signs, they need to alchemize the Temperance in reverse, which is like disorder and all that stuff. You can go watch that video to see more information on that. But for you this month, I really feel there is a big need to balance and to come into union. There is a need to come into a partnership as well, either with yourself or with somebody else. I feel there's a lot of karmic debt being cleared as well. And we do have some karmic cards. At least we have the Star and Ten of Pentacles, which are pretty karmic. Even the Two of Cups, which is typically seen as the twin flame or soulmate card. So there are some karmic things happening this month. And, you know, also the nodes will be switching signs here next month in December by the middle of the month. And the south node or the north node will head into Taurus and the south node will head into Scorpio. So this will be affecting all the earth signs, especially Taurus, you know. So for Tauruses, this is the next year is pretty much going to be a year of deep transformative and personal growth and basically going after what it is, you know, you came here to do. Which, I mean, we do on a daily basis. We're all here to go after what we're meant for, you know, every day of our life. But with the North Node, it's a karmic activation on your sun sign or whatever placements you have there. So, you know, which I'm sure will come up later in future readings. But basically with Temperance as the challenge, I do feel you're being challenged in the workplace or you're being challenged even at school or just overall performance. I feel some of you are going to have to really step it up this month. And I got that for a lot of the signs, you know, and so I feel, and Temperance Sagittarius represents this card, so Sagittarius energy has to deal with higher knowledge, higher learning, religion, faith, beliefs, travel, foreign language, things like that. So, you know, you're having to really, you know, see things with a whole new light and you know, develop some sort of acceptance and forgiveness as well. I feel like a lot of you are having to forgive somebody or forgive yourself for past actions, for not seeing things clearly, for falling into traps, you know, for being led by your emotions, solely just emotions, and not letting your logical mind step in. So this month is really just bringing things back into balance and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel too, which I was channeling earlier with this card. I just didn't say it, didn't come out. But, you know, I'm getting with this card, it's, you know, you got to see things as the glass half full, because, you know, there's just a lot going on within your psyche. And, you know, if you stay stuck in there, if you stay trapped in here, it's just going to drive you crazy. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to go crazy, trust me. And so, yeah, I think more or less this is a sign. And even with the star here and the hangman, you know, there's some good cards out here. So, you know, it's really just taking shit for what it is. I heard something, but I can't get it out. It's, you know, it's acceptance as well, you know, it's, you know, it is seeing things for what they are, not what you want them to be, but also still keeping that, you know, innocence of not knowing anything, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. So, yeah, we'll just stop there with that part, because I've already lost my message. So the current energies, I feel, you know, there is a lot of conflict going on. There's a lot of having to step away from something, even if it's just temporarily. I feel whatever it is that you're stepping away from here with the Eight of Cups, it's for your own good. Some of you are probably having to step away from family in the home. Maybe you need to travel. Maybe work is becoming more demanding. We are heading into the holiday season. And so for some people who work, you know, like 9-to-5 jobs or whatever, even if you don't, this is typically just a really busy time of year for people. There's just a lot of going on, a lot of hustle and bustle, a lot of movement going on. And so I feel there's something within the home environment that you're having to walk away from and step away from, because it's causing a lot of conflict. And I feel it's all internal. It could even just be external conflict. I feel you're having to stand up against, I'm getting for a lot of you yourself. You're having to stand up against whatever it is that the Seven of Cups energy is bringing out of you this month. You know, you're having to confront deep-seated issues. And now I feel like for some of you, there are going to be some things that come up this month that you're going to have to address. You're going to have to acknowledge. There's really no running from it. You know, this man on this card, he's like up on a hill or whatever, and he's got all these sticks below him attacking him, and he's defending himself. So, you know, it is right now with the current energies, there's something that you're having to defend and ward off. And, you know, I do feel like it has a lot to do with emotions, because we do have the cups, and cups cards deal with feelings and emotions, as well as your mind, you know, your emotional mind, more than anything, your creative mind, which I'm not sure which side of the brain that is, what hemisphere that is, you know, left brain, right brain. One of them's logical and the other is more creative and emotional. Although I feel emotions strictly come from the heart and not from the brain, but, you know, it is what it is. So I feel a lot of you are having to step away from relationships. Maybe a lot of you are having to step away from important family matters. There could also be a loss in the family, either literal or just like physical or whatever. You know, I'm not here to predict death for you guys, but, you know, there's some kind of loss happening. Or just some kind of, you know, if it's not a loss, I would say, there's like a block. like I'm getting like something has to be locked away into a chest, saved for a rainy day. Something isn't time yet. There's something that's not time yet. And this card can represent time. This card is heavily represents ancestors, inheritance, the family, things like that, you know, your deep roots. You know, so for others of you, if you're not having to step away from the family, you're probably having to step into the family. Maybe there's some issues happening around the home and family that you're having to defend and fight for, stand up for. You know, you have to stand up for a family member or stand up for your position within the family. Now with the star, it is promising the sea, and I do get a strong karmic influence off of it. You know, this card is represented by Aquarius, and the symbol for Aquarius is the axiom for as above, so below. You know, it's 2 rows of squiggly lines, which represents the water pouring from the vase of Aquarius. And so, you know, this card is also about astrological influence. And we do have 2 cards here that show a mixing and blending. So the star is more about the past and the future. And as above, so below, like I said, and temperance is more about bringing together and fusion. So this is like a preparation for, you know, a letting go what was and a preparation for what is. And the temperance is you know, a mixing, a fusion, a blending of the present, basically. So this is like past and future, and this is present. You know, that's what I'm getting right now anyways. And so, you know, it is considered the wish card too. So, you know, if you got a wish, make a wish. You know, and if you're a Scorpio or a Sagittarius and you're just watching, cross-watching, or, you know, you have earth placements, you know, happy birthday, make a wish. You know, these things that are happening right now for you, it's all in divine timing. There's some preparation happening for you right now. Some really, and you might not even see what it is that you're being prepared for until later. I feel like you're not so much starting a new cycle, but there's something happening right now that's gonna blossom and come into fruition much, much later. Perhaps during your own birthday season. So next year, basically, or the end of December if you're, you know, December born Capricorn. So I would suspect that for earth signs, and I'm just going to deliver this message, even though this is supposed to be a monthly message, I feel that things are going to be happening for you next year, especially with this Pluto return for the nation. Something very, very deep, very big will happen for you around or on the time of your birthday. So keep that in mind, or even just your own season, your own earth sign season. So for Virgos, my poor Virgos, you're going to have to wait basically a whole year for that. You know, but also maybe even if it's not your birthday season, then let's say it's your rising or more or less your moon sign is an earth sign, then perhaps your very next lunar return, there should be something huge happening for you. If your moon sign is an earth sign, that's strictly for earth sign moons. So yeah, like I kind of feel like there's a lot of you are feeling really discouraged, maybe a lot of self-doubt, and maybe just like you're just exhausted, right? Like you're overworked, you're overstressed, you're overthinking it, you're overfeeling it. And so, you know, I kind of am picking up on a lot of just really stressful, confusing energy. And, you know, rest assured though, things will clear up, okay? And, you know, the stars are very, very bright and obvious on this card. So things will clear up for you. There will be some light shining in the darkness for you. You just got to keep pushing through it. And again, like you're entering a new phase, you're birthing something here. So whatever you're going through right now is it's birthing something for later. And so don't worry if you're going through some shit right now. I'm not saying that you're gonna birth some more shit later. Like, something good will come out of it. You know, there's always, you know, life is duality, life is a polarity. You know, one thing, you know, what's that saying? You know, when one door closes, another one opens, or whatever, right? So it's, you know, because I do feel you're so discouraged right now, like, don't worry. In due time, things will brighten up for you. Things will become that much more clear for you. And perhaps things will start to become more clear once you step away from any issues that you're facing. This could also be financial issues. I'm also getting some kind of ownership. There's some issues with ownership. For some of you, maybe like a contract. I'm getting like also a landlord. Some of you are dealing with a landlord, or, you know, maybe not so much like an eviction, but like maybe something in the past. So I do feel like something from the past is coming up for you right now, or it has been. And so now you're kind of just, I don't know, I heard someone's winging it. Someone's winging it right now. I also feel like someone's testing the waters, like someone's just seeing what someone else's reaction's going to be. I get a sense that like somebody is like they want the attention, or they want to provoke either you or someone outside of you, or someone, you know, someone else is trying to provoke you to get a reaction. You know, this is the Mars and Leo's card. And, you know, Leo's all about being at the forefront and being seen and heard, you know, and Mars is our drive and our ambitions. And Mars in Leo, I'm sure, does pretty good because Mars is naturally a fire sign. Traditionally, it rules Aries as well as Scorpio. So it could be both, you know, fire and water, which is an interesting combination. I usually associate fire and earth was like lava, you know, and even a little bit of water in there definitely creates lava because, you know, volcanoes create land. And whenever I think volcanoes, I think of like the volcanoes in Hawaii, and I think of like all the footage I've seen. And I've seen so much where, you know, you see the lava falling into the ocean, and as it rolls down the side of, you know, the land, it slowly, you know, the heat slowly dissipates and it turns into a hard rock, a hard lava rock. And so I don't know why I'm bringing that up, but yeah, so like you want to, so if anything, if someone's provoking you or you're provoking somebody, you want to calm down, especially if someone's provoking you. Like, calm the fuck down, you know, visualize the lava falling into the ocean, into the water, and the heat is being dissipated. It's being cooled by the water, you know. So that's a good thing to visualize whenever you feel angry. Like, visualize yourself as the lava, you know, as a chunk of lava. And as you enter the water, you're being cooled off. You're being, you know, you're being calmed down to where you can slowly fall into like a hardened rock. You know, don't harden yourself too much, but you know, it's cooled off, right? The lava's cooled off, so it's no longer raging and you know, melting shit. You know, so I don't know, take that for message for what it was. That was so random. So yeah, I just feel, you know, there just seems to be a lot going on, but at the same time, we are almost already halfway through the month. I know this video is super late, so if you're not really feeling this right now, this could have just been the start of the month in general. You know, and as the week ends and we go into next week, I feel like this energy will kind of taper off, will cool off like that lava. You know, so that's good news. Moving into the energy, stepping in this month, you know, the Seven of Cups and this Hangman are closely related because the Hangman is all about seeing things from a new perspective. And it's seeing things in a reflective manner. You know, water is technically the very first mirror, and it reflects things upside down. And so, you know, when you see yourself in water, you know, it's a reversed image of you, no different than how you see yourself in a mirror. And I know like some forward-facing cameras on our phones have that mirror effect, which is like super annoying in my opinion. But you know, it flips the image, you know, the water flips the image, the mirror flips the image. And so this is all about seeing things from a flipped perspective, from a new perspective, based on new information that you were given. So perhaps, you know, this information that you're having to unearth and uncover has given you some clear insight into, for a lot of you, something you're missing out on. There's something that's like right in front of you that you had a really hard time of seeing clearly. And I feel a lot of that has to deal with your emotions or your perceived thoughts of how you think things should be. You know, so it's good in the sense that this is the energy stepping in. You will receive some new insight if you haven't already, that will help you really, you know, like see things for not for what they are, because this is seeing things in a reversed position, you know, in a different light. But this is the balance of the temperance, you know, that's the challenge, you know, that's stepping in this month, you know, to challenge yourself to, you know, I'm kind of getting like a sacrifice, like challenge yourself to sacrifice yourself to a new way of thinking, a new way of believing. Get your feet wet. You know, it's interesting how there's like a lot of water influence here. A lot of pouring of water. There's a flow of water. I feel for some of you, it'll be a surge of energy stepping in this month that will push you along a path that it's going to be difficult. But if you manage yourself, your emotions, manage your time, especially, I feel like time this month for the earth signs is kind of a big thing. That was something I picked up at the start of this reading when I was pulling the cards. There's something about time. So time management's important. Maybe some of you need to set up a routine and a schedule, especially if you usually have one for yourself and you haven't been following it or sticking to one. You know, I feel that could help you too with managing your feelings. If you set up a schedule for yourself, then, you know, it'll keep you busy. It'll keep you from being stagnant and getting stuck, especially getting stuck in your head and your thoughts. Also, you know, with this card, I got guilty pleasures when I had pulled it. So some of you may need to take a step back from your guilty pleasures. You know, the guilty ones, right? Not all pleasures, right? Just the guilty ones. And, you know, which is interesting because we are in Scorpio season right now, and I feel like, if anything, this is the time of year to step into your guilty pleasures. You know, I think there's just a lot of distractions. So if you're a recreational smoker, you know, if you're a casual drinker, or, you know, if you indulge in good food, if you indulge in, you know, just things like that, like things that, you know, you wouldn't do waking up in the morning. Like, would you have a glass of wine when you wake up? I don't know, maybe some of you would, but you know, like things like that. Like it depends on who you are as a person. Like everyone's guilty pleasures are different. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So, you know, it's different for everybody, and that's for you to decide. A lot of this is, you know, earlier I said, you know, you're having to cut through some illusions and like change your beliefs. I think it's because, you know, you're following a structure that was placed in front of you, and you're blindly following it, and you're being woken up to that now. And so you want to not fall victim to that. So that's why I feel like you should cut guilty pleasures out this month, or at least cut back, like I'm a recreational smoker, and I've been having to take frequent breaks because if I sit with it too long, if I smoke and sit for so long, I get really stuck in my head, and then I get all emotional and I fuck myself up, right? But I'm starting to alchemize it now to where I don't sit with it too long, and I make sure that my mind doesn't wander when I do, because, especially with, marijuana, it opens up, certain receptors in your brain, to new insight and new parts of yourself. Typically, things like that, the shamans used for ritual. I know ancients indulged in it for pleasure, but a lot of drugs are used in ritual because it, like I said, it activates certain parts of your brain that you wouldn't typically access any other way. And so, so you just don't want to get too stuck in that. You don't want to get too caught up in that, because it is somewhat of an illusion. It is just in your head. Even if you do become enlightened, or even if you do become aware and see things for what they really are, you don't want to get so caught up in it that, it defines everything. You know what I mean? Because I guess, it's an illusion to a degree. It's just a thought, being high and watching someone be high is like, it's two different experiences. You have no idea what they're thinking and what they're going through. And so in a sense, it's just in their head, it's just in their body, which is still very validated. Trust me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, what you believe and what you feel is very validated, because that's your reality. That's your universe. We are a universe of its own, if you ever see the way atoms are laid out, it looks like the solar system, so like we are, and then we have so much living inside of us that like we don't think about it. Like, we have so many neurons and all these other like things going on inside of us that just do its job. It's a whole universe living inside of you. And so, like I said, it's very validated, but you want to be aware that your reality is nothing like anyone else's reality. No two realities are the same within a person. Anyways, that was interesting. The energy stepping in are quite interesting as well. We do have the Two of Cups, and we do have the Four of Wands, which is really good because these are like really good feel-good cards. You want to be really receptive. I feel a lot of you will be stepping into karmic relationships, karmic contracts, karmic connections. It doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. So for some of you, if you begin a relationship this month, it could be very karmic, a soulmate, a twin flame. Even if it doesn't have to be romantic. I also see this card as a card of receptivity, of give and take, equal share, seeing things, at the same level. Also a card of healing, and, because I don't know what the name of it is for the symbol you see, like in hospital. It's like two kundalini snakes going up a staff or a stick or whatever, and then there's wings that come out at the top, which represents, an awakening of consciousness. So perhaps a lot of you are gonna have a kundalini awakening or some kind of spiritual awakening. Some kind of connection will be formed, either with somebody or within yourself, or with a higher power, a higher being, that can free you and release you. You do want to ground yourself, though, again, because your perceptions and your belief systems are being challenged and changed and transformed. So make sure you root yourself and ground yourself. You know, opening up your third eye and your crown chakra is a beautiful thing. It is a crazy ass experience. And if you forget to ground yourself, that Kundalini energy, as it sits up there in the higher chakras, it's away from its home, its root, and that can really throw you off and really disconnect you from reality. And so I think that's another reason why I feel like you got to let go of some of your guilty pleasures, at least really cut back and pace yourself, prepare yourself, because those things, you know, especially recreational drugs, will really take you out, basically. And so you know, with that said, there is you know, a sense of healing occurring, and especially for those who have really just been going through the shit, you know, especially Capricorns, you know, because we have Pluto here. And you know, so I'm here to take things with stride. Things aren't as bad as they seem, and which I kind of got with the current energies. Like, although I feel like a lot of you are really discouraged and just maybe at a loss for hope, you know, rest assured, you know, things are fine. Good things are coming, and this is a clear sign of that. That good things are coming to you. Great connections are going to be formed, even if you don't think they're karmic. They are, okay, because Two of Cups connections are always karmic. You know, if anything, everything is karmic. Sorry about that. My camera card was full. I forgot to dump it before I recorded this. So let's stop recording. I have no idea what was said, but basically, I was saying how this Mars and Scorpio energy is typically very secretive. This energy doesn't like to be seen. It doesn't like to be heard. They like to move in the shadows. You know, kind of like a stalkery kind of energy, but it's just secretive. Let's just say that. I don't want to really go there, but you know, so perhaps whatever it is that, whatever loss you're going through, you may have to deal with it alone or in private. I feel that this loss really isn't anyone's business. I feel that and I feel that it's super personal. You know, so do seek help if you feel you need help, especially if you feel really helpless, if you feel really lost and you have a really hard making decisions. Otherwise, you know, you're gonna have to pick yourself back up. You know, and I feel that's really typical for earth signs, especially Capricorns. They really, and even Virgos, like they really don't, and Taurus too, all earth signs, they really don't like asking for help. They like to do it all on their own. You know, we have this inner strength within us, you know, this earth energy, this inner knowing that, you know, we are capable, just as Mother Earth knows that she is so capable, right? Gaia doesn't ask for help from anybody. She just takes care of it on her own. You know, it's pretty evident that humans have failed the planet because we're very, very destructive to this land. You know, it's not natural to have pavement all over the land, all these concrete, you know, flooring, you know. And with that said, you know, because we do live in a concrete world for the most part, depending on where you live. If you live in a city, you know, it's very true. You know, I live in the desert, so like I guess it's better that we have concrete than dirt, you know, to walk on. But with that said, you know, perhaps you really, and I did mention something earlier about grounding yourself. So you probably have to go out and ground this month. Get out there. I know the weather can be pretty cold in some places, but you know, spend more time outdoors. Spend more time around trees, nature as much as possible. You know, talk to the trees. I promise you they'll talk back to you. You know, hug a tree. You know, you really want to connect with the earth energies this month to keep you grounded, especially if you feel really thrown off, and especially when you go through this loss that comes up. I know the video stopped recording earlier and I was saying something about, I hope I caught it, But I was saying something earlier about you can book a reading with me if you need more insight into what this loss is. The information's below in the description. You could just book the 1-question tarot reading and ask me, you know, and we could see how you can go about dealing with this loss and how to reconnect with yourself. Because I do feel a lot of what's happening this month is reconnecting. I feel a lot of you are coming back home to yourself. A lot of you went on this crazy, crazy long journey. You had to step away from something, from yourself, from personal matters. I feel like a lot of you had to put a lot of your needs on the back burner. And even at the same time, I feel a lot of your needs were brought up to the forefront. And there are some things you had to really address. And so that, as a result, that you had to walk away from certain things. A lot of you had to walk away from social activities and socializing to spend more time at home to deal with all this conflict that's happening. You know, which is like this conflict from this card. It's like, it's just really apparent to me that, you know, you can't really hide from it anymore. Whatever you've been going through, you have to address it now. Whatever loss is, even if this isn't a loss that's stepping in, perhaps it's a loss that you've experienced already, and this is the time now to move on from it, to turn around and look behind you and see that there's still hope. There's still 2 cups standing up. You know, you may have lost 3 cups, but you still have 2. So it's partial loss. It's not a complete loss. You know, and this card for me I always associate it with a temporary step back, a temporary change of direction, and having to come back to this later, you know. With the 4 of Wands here, this is another card and energy of home, as is the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, home and family are just really important. Even if you don't have a family of your own, I would suggest that, you know, I mean, like your own children or whatever, everyone has a family, you know, even your friends can be your family, or your community could be a family. But whatever this is for you, just know that your family's there for you. They're waiting for you. They're waiting for you at the end of the finish line. They're definitely rooting and cheering for you. You know, and they're there for you. You just got to ask for the help. So for some of you, perhaps you are needing to return back home after being away for a long time. And also, you know, for others, for having, you know, for those of you having to step away from the home, just know that your family is going to be there waiting for you. Like they're rooting for you. They're cheering you on, even if they don't show it or say it. They believe it, you know, they feel it. Communication can be really crucial this month. I feel there's a lot of things that you were going to say that you've been wanting to say for so long. I feel a lot of you are really having to stand up for something here, having to defend yourself on a stance or position that you hold. I feel there's just a lot of independence stepping in. You know, there's a lot of Mars and Aries energy that I'm picking up on. You know, even Scorpio. So you're having to make a choice here. Are you going to continue to stick with old ways and old beliefs? Or are you going to allow this new insight that you're going to receive to transform you, to put you into a place of harmony, of this give and receive energy? You know, stepping out of your comfort zone so you can connect and make this special connection that's coming in this month. You know, it's gonna require you to let go of things, traditions, beliefs, faiths, ideas, emotions, even personal belongings, even residence. Some of you are moving. I did pick up on that. You know, when I pulled the card, some of you are moving. If it's not a physical move, it could just be internally you're shifting your own home. You know, your body is first and foremost your first home and your only home for your soul anyways. It's a vessel. You know, all of this is temporary, you know, but you know, if you don't have a roof over your head, you have yourself, you have your body to keep you safe, right? To keep you nurtured. Self-care is definitely important this month. But if anything, there's just a huge emphasis on home, a huge emphasis on security and stability, and just letting go of shit. Like, you know, Scorpio season, you know, if you have Scorpio energy, there's people with Scorpio energy typically like to let go of things. I have a habit of like deleting shit and like removing shit. I've thrown away all my yearbooks, you know. I know it's terrible, but like I have a habit of trying to erase the past, you know, which, like I said earlier, you don't want to suppress anything because it will bite you in the ass later. But you know, Scorpio is a way to, it's kind of like the dumpster, you know. I hate to say it, and no offense either, like this isn't you know, an attack or anything, but it does represent life cycles. It does represent death, you know. It's an ending. So it's like the dumpster of the zodiac, you know. It's where you go to dump all your problems, you know. I know Scorpio energy is also associated with like at least in my experience, like therapists, therapy, people that can like see into what others are missing. That's heavy Scorpio energy. I feel a lot of therapists have a Scorpio moon. You know, they're very curious about the underlinings of human development, of human behavior. So perhaps with that said, you're needing to really take a cold hard look at your own behavior with this Mars and Scorpio energy. You know, oh fuck, I hate when this happens. I go off and like I completely forget the original message. Oh well, but you get the point, right? You get it. So yeah, this shit's heavy, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's heavy, but like I feel there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I do feel that once this all washes away and clears out, like you're gonna feel better. You will feel better about yourself. You know, we start the current energies with the Star, which is a very positive card. It's all about astrological alignment, as above, so below. It's all about perfect timing. It's all about you, as well as, yeah, perfect timing. It may not be the time, but in due time it will be. And then we're ending it here with the Four of Wands, and that's, you know, a very great stable card to have. It's a card of celebration too. It's you know, a card of union. And it's interesting because I'm looking at the imagery and like the wands are stacked up and they're decorated with this wreath, you know. And I've already noticed like some people already got their Christmas trees up, which is like freaking crazy in my opinion. Like, it makes sense to put it up during Sagittarius season, but like we're still in spooky season, guys. Like, come on now. Oh, it's kind of disgusting. I love Christmas, you know, and I'm not like a Christian or anything, but I fucking love Christmas, you know. And if you know the true history of Christmas, you know that, you know, it's a pagan holiday, as are pretty much all holidays are. They're pagan holidays. They're just adopted or stolen or whatever to fix whatever narrative of whatever religion, namely Christianity in this country. It's interesting because it's decorated. It just reminds me of Christmas, and I've noticed people have their trees up. So I don't know, maybe you do need to put up your Christmas shit, you know, like maybe you do need to lighten up the mood, listen to, you know, the brainwashing Christmas music. You know, like I said, I love it all, like I'm not knocking, but it's true, like, you know, it's Christmas music's weird, like if you really think about it, like that shit's weird, that shit's brainwashing. But anyways, I suggest that you make your home as beautiful and as comfortable as you need it to be, you know. And I said something about a move, like, you know, if you're gonna move this month, I feel like that's like, I mean, you know, unless something happens and you have to uproot yourself completely, but for the most part, like, you know when you're gonna move because it's been planned ahead of time. So Maybe you just need to move things around the house, move the furniture around, redecorate. That's what I'm getting. Redecorate, or just decorate in general. Celebrate the little things. Celebrate the little moment. And we do have Thanksgiving coming up, which is, if anything, is the strangest holiday in my opinion. I'm kind of sick of it. You know, so it is a time to reconnect with family. So even if you are having to step away from the home, it doesn't mean you have to step away from your family. You know, I think it's just more or less stepping away from responsibilities within the home. And that's for some of you. That's not for all of you. Like, I've noticed in these readings, like, it's either or, you know, depending on who you are. Like, you're stepping away or you're stepping in, you know, it's interesting. The fire sign reading I did, which I did before this, was super wishy-washy. That shit was so confusing for me. This is kind of confusing, but, like, I get it, you know, in this reading. It's just kind of, it's hard for me to, like, get it out sometimes and, like, really tell you guys, like, what it is I'm channeling, because I typically feel things, and, like, I'll hear things, but not all the time it's clear to me, you know. It's, like, because it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Fuck, I hate when I go off like that. I don't know, man, like, it's not as bad as it seems. It really isn't. Like, you know, and we'll do mid-month check-ins next week, so we'll double check into this. And I know this reading's pretty late, you know. I had a lot of shit come up. I feel like the energy stepping in, if anything, is pretty subtle. You know, this loss, not so much, but everything else is pretty subtle. This connection's really key for you this month. Although I don't want you guys sitting around waiting for this connection. Like, it's not, you can't wait for this. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If it's not meant for you, then it's not going to happen. That's just how it is. You know, everything is predetermined. You know, things are set in stone long before they begin. That's just how life is. So either way, some kind of important connection will occur. And this connection can even be what enlightens you to this and brings things into balance for you. Maybe reconnect you to your home. So it could be something from your past or something related to the home, your physical home, or your body, you know, your temple. So overall, like, I know you feel really discouraged. I know you just, some of you are at a loss for words or loss of hope. Some of you, I know, are having to step back and take a break. Social media breaks, I'm all for it. You know, even if it's just a week, you know, like, do it. Just log off. You don't even have to log off. You don't have to install. Just don't look at it. Turn off your notifications. Don't look at it. You know, I do feel you need to spend time with yourself. Some self-care, self-nurture. Although I feel like your family's got your back, you're still having to do something alone. And I don't know if the video cut that off when I was talking about this card, but I was saying something, you're going to have to do something alone. You're going to have to deal with this loss alone. But of course, if you really, really need help, please seek help. Otherwise, you know, earth signs, I'm sure you got it. And you do got it. Because you're fucking earth signs. Alright? You guys are the fucking earth. You guys are the roots of everything. You know, so you got it. It's just, what is it? It's just work. It's just another day in the office. Just another day in the office, right? Just another lesson. Just another experience. And life is just an experience. We take it too seriously. One of my favorite quotes by Alan Watts is, I'm paraphrasing, I'll probably put it up on the screen, but something like, you know, humans take serious what the gods had made for fun. And we do. We take shit way too serious. Even if their own beliefs and our own spirituality and our own religions, like, we could take shit way too seriously. And I feel that also has to do with part of the illusions. Like, religion is an illusion, okay? Spirituality is an illusion. I'm not saying that it's a bad illusion or it's not true. Illusions can be true. I know that's a weird thing, you know, but if you know what I mean, then you know what I mean by that. As above, so below. It's reflected back to you. You know, illusions are reflected back to you. Illusions create your reality, right? Like, religions create your reality. Beliefs create your reality. Your experiences. This whole thing's an illusion. So, you know, don't take shit too seriously. Know that, you know, whatever you lose, you're gonna gain something from it. It's necessary to go through these losses and these deep transformations. The Scorpio energy, it's so necessary to let go of what you don't have control over. And I'm talking to you, Capricorn. Don't get caught up in superficiality either. And I'm talking to you, Taurus, right? Venus ruled people, like, you know, materialism is superficial. Don't get caught up in that. Maybe that's your guilty pleasure. Fucking shopping all the time, right? I'm just joking. You know, I'm just playing with you guys. I'm just being super, like, you know, sarcastic here. But anyways, am I? No, I don't know. Anyways, let's just move on. So, yeah, that's the message I got for you guys. Just fucking... just hang in there. Stand up for what you believe in. You people got your back. Your family, your friends, whatever, like, whoever, you know, they got your back. You're gonna have to let go of something this month, something big. But this connection that you make, either with other people or with yourself, will make up for that loss, you know, and perhaps this connection will trigger a loss. You know, shit ends good here because we have the Four of Wands. It ends really well. It's a new beginning. You just got to manage your time. Don't be stagnant this month. If you need a rest, but don't let life pass you by, because, you know, shit hits the fan for people all the time. We go through shit all the fucking time. We go through losses all the time, but the world's gonna keep spinning. It's gonna keep moving. It can't wait for you. And, you know, earth signs, I'm sure you understand that. So, yeah, so there's that. Now let's move on to the oracle card. Already shuffled, all that good stuff. So we're just gonna start pulling, you know, save us time. And then we'll start with Taurus. We'll go to Virgo and then Capricorn. And as usual, there are timestamps below, so you could skip to your oracle card if you like. And so yeah, here we go. For Taurus, we have Hearth. For Virgo, we have Pressure. And for Capricorns, we have Fire. All right. So Taurus, the card we got for you, the oracle card from the Elemental Oracle deck, is Hearth. The word for this is comfort, and the number is 11. It's a cute card. I love it. I don't think I've ever pulled this card either, so that's super cool. You guys are the first. All right, so Hearth. Comfort. Take some time out to rest and regenerate. Know what makes you comfortable. Keep the home fires burning. Create a peaceful and beautiful home life. Nourishing the mind, body, and spirit is important at this time. Focus on the inner life. So yeah, Hearth, you know, for the Hearth in ancient times, our ancestors, you know, it was the fire pit that was like in the middle of the home. So especially, you know, pagans and whatnot, usually their home was built around the hearth, and you would have like a fire pit in the middle of the home, which represented like the heart of the home. It's the life force of the home, and usually, typically, you would keep this burning at all times. You wouldn't let it go out, you know, to keep the fire going. And also, fire is a spirit. It's an energy, just like water and earth and even the wind is. It's a spirit. It's an energy, right? You know, the fire is such a ever-present spirit, because it's constantly moving. Where water can stay still, and so can the air. It can, you know, the wind can not blow at all, you know, and there's just no wind. Fire is always burning. It's always moving. It's never stagnant. And so, and it's interesting how I said, you know, like rest if you need a rest, but don't be stagnant. And so for Taurus, especially you guys, you know, you really want to, if anything, you guys aren't stepping away from the home. You're having to step back into the home. You're having to really take a break here. But, you know, keep the fires burning. Stay productive. Maybe bust out an old hobby. You know, bust out the playing boards, the games, you know, bust out the puzzles. You know, connect with, you know, pets and children, your inner child. Maybe adopt a pet if you don't have a pet, you know, and it could be any kind of pet too. You know, just either way, I just feel for Taurus. You've got to slow down here and focus on yourself and focus on your well-being, and you know, be the roots. Plant your roots. You guys are gonna have to ground yourself the most here out of all the earth signs. I feel you guys are really need to ground. I feel like it's your turn to ground. I feel for Virgos and Capricorns, they've been really going through the shit, especially Capricorn. And I feel like Capricorns have really grounded already, and it's just a matter of, well, whatever, that's for Capricorn, right? But, you know, you guys need to, you need to ground now. You need to, put your foot down, is what I heard. So maybe you're gonna have to put your foot down on something. Enough is enough. Some of you can't take it anymore. And some of you are getting confirmation that this is a sign that you gotta really step back. Perhaps instead of move, you need to go on vacation. You need to move around, period. If you travel, perhaps you just need to travel somewhere and like take a really long fucking nap. Like maybe like a staycation. So like book a hotel in your city and just fucking sleep the entire time. You know, like get away from like all the noise. You know, but keep that fire burning. Keep that light going. Don't snuff out your light. Don't fall victim to any negative feelings or disharmonious feelings, because it's not a month for being disharmonious. It's a month for being harmonious. Yeah, like just perfect balance. Just it's a month to you know, and it's interesting because she's not looking at what she's doing. And the Star card is kind of like the same thing in regards to trusting that things will work out. And I have been saying again and again in this reading that a lot of you are discouraged, but you need to trust that shit's going to work out in time. So know that, Taurus. Don't worry about taking this break. If you do take an extended break, if you do go on vacation, if you do sleep all day, like, you need it. You guys are exhausted. That's for sure. All right. So Virgo, we have for you pressure. The word for this is transformation, and the number is 26. Let's see what the book says. All right, pressure, transformation. You can view pressure as being negative, or you can see it as being a shaper, director, or positive influence. Find a happy medium where you can benefit and not be disadvantaged. This is definitely one of my favorite cards, and that could just be because I'm a Capricorn, and you know, Capricorn's all about pressure, and the pressure we place on ourselves and what the fucking government and you know, those in charge place on us. Capricorn represents that shit. Virgo, yeah, I don't know what it is with you guys, but in no disrespect, all right, and it's not like that. I just, for you guys especially, it's not as bad as it seems. So that message was definitely for you guys. It's not as bad as it seems. I know this shit's tough right now. I do, trust me. Oh, I feel like a lot of you have a lot of mental agony. I think for a lot of you too, you guys need a schedule. As I had mentioned earlier, I feel like a lot of you are just scatterbrained. You're out of alignment. you need to reorganize something and put something in order. So since everyone's being called to some kind of home energy here, you know, you guys probably need to just like go through something in your home and organize it. Like clean out your closet and reorganize it or something. That should really help you clear your head, you know? I feel like especially Virgo moons, especially as children, I feel that they struggle the most with organization. And so as an adult, like, it's something that you kind of perfect or end up perfecting. Typically, this is very general, right? So Virgo moons especially, like, you guys need to, yeah. It's funny, like, clean your room, like, clean your space. You guys just need to reorganize. All right, so if there is something in your home that is like out of order, or like if your closet is a disaster, like clean it, like go through it. I feel like you'll find something that's missing as well. Some of you are gonna find something missing, but either way, like, I feel like you're putting a lot more pressure on yourself than you need to, and it's not as bad as it seems. And that's why I feel like organizing your space, your living space, your personal space will help you put those thoughts back in place, right? And like on this image, this person is like breaking up into millions of little pieces. And it's like, I feel like you need to gather that back. You need to, and I just feel like organizing and cleaning out shit is just the best way to like clear up your head. Even like video games. So if you like video games, maybe you need to play some video games. I feel like I love playing like shooter games. My favorite game right now, or my favorite game has been PUBG for quite a while. I haven't been playing as much as I used to because people don't really play it anymore. But I love those kind of games because it's, in that game especially, okay, this is going to be kind of long, but in that game, if you know anything about it, if you don't, you jump out of an airplane. It's kind of like Fortnite. I think someone at Fortnite created PUBG. But anyways, you jump out of a plane, you don't have any weapons or anything, so you have to land, grab all your gear, and then you gotta, like, you know, defend yourself and fight against other people that are shooting at you. And with that said, in that game, you know, you have to organize all your shit. You have to put all your attachments on your weapons. You have to, you know, you just have to organize your shit. And so video games are a great way to organize our brains. Also feel like the Lego games are really good for that too, because a lot of it is having to follow steps and orders to get to the end, you know. You can't advance the level until you complete a task, you know, so something like that. Puzzles, of course, I feel like that's really evident with the imagery. I got a really weird, like, ringing in my, it wasn't like a ringing, it was like a weird frequency hit my head. That's so weird that just happened. That was a weird frequency. It's really high pitched. So yeah, a lot of you, it's mental, and just you're scatterbrained. I feel like a lot of you are doing too much, or you had done so much and it's really thrown you off, and now you need to get back into alignment. So Virgos, I hate to drag this on, organize, all right? You got too much pressure on you. And to relieve this pressure, just do something that helps get your brain back into check, back into order. Now, Capricorns, for you, we have fire. And the word for this is ignition, and the number is 8. I believe Sagittarius got this card in their monthly reading, and yeah, they did. And I didn't say anything, I didn't channel anything for them, because I kind of like, the whole fire sign video was like strictly Sag, and like, so I didn't need to channel anything. Like I said, enough. This is all you need to know. But for you guys, Capricorn, fire, ignition, live your passion, allow your spirit to drive you forward. Don't overthink the situation. Now is the time to innovate and take action. Be a lighthouse for others, or find yourself a mentor. So let's see if I can channel for you guys. So you guys especially are stepping into this Mars energy I was picking up on. This Aries energy, even this Leo energy. you guys, I feel especially, had already rooted yourself or grounded yourself. You've already done the Seven of Cups work. There's something that's already come to light for you. I feel like you guys are a step ahead of the other earth signs. And so now Spirit is asking, like, what are you going to do now with the information and the insight you received? What is it? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to take that? I think things are just really clear to you guys now. I think a lot has cleared up in the past couple months, past couple weeks. Even this month alone, I feel like already the first week has really revealed a lot to you, especially that Scorpio new moon. That Scorpio new moon was crazy. It didn't feel crazy for me, but like, you know, if you've been paying attention to what's happening in the media, like some crazy shit happened on November 5th. It's just a lot. Like, I didn't even do my new moon intentions. Something told me not to. And we are in eclipse season. You're not supposed to manifest on eclipses, but I mean, whatever. You do what you want. You don't want to manifest on an eclipse if you're not somebody that practices magic or divination or ritual, typically, because you know, you just got to know what you're doing. If you want to manifest on an eclipse or not, you need to know what you're doing. You need to be aware of shit. I feel like Capricorns are like one of the signs that are like an exception, because, you know, Capricorn is ruled by the devil and all that good stuff. So like, also karma, like, you're so heavily, Saturn's your ruler, so you're so fucking protected. It's not even funny how protected you guys are. I cannot tell you how many stories I've heard of people's lives being fucked up after they fucked up a Capricorn. You know, so you guys are heavily protected by Saturn. You know, even if you're like somebody that doesn't, like, typically, like, if you're like not a good person per se, like, you're still protected. It's weird. You know, shout out to Capricorns. You know, so if anything, Spirit is asking you guys to do something about this. You guys cannot be stagnant for sure this month. You guys, it's not about resting like Taurus, and it's not about organizing your thoughts like and organizing your life like Virgo. Like, you guys need to push forward now. You guys are a step ahead. I feel like you've already done a lot of this work again. Like I said, you've overcome a lot. It's unbelievable how much you've overcome. Like, I'm so blown away by it. You know, pay the way for yourself. It will inspire others, but don't worry about inspiring others. You know, for earth signs this month, I feel it's really about your own independence and your own belief systems and coming into alignment with yourself. I feel like you guys have, for the most part, are pretty in line with yourself. It's just a matter of acting on it. Activate your Mars energy. Wherever Mars is in your chart and whatever sign that Mars is in, activate it. Do something about it. My Mars, I'm a Capricorn, my Mars is in Pisces. So, and it's in the 6th house, which is the house of Virgo. So for me to activate that Mars energy would be to get creative, to create something artistic, to edit and work on things. I love editing. I love editing music videos especially. Like, it's so fun to edit videos. I know my videos aren't like fun, you know, I don't put too much work into these videos. Overall, like, I like to, and also work independently. That's how I activate my Mars energies, to do things independently. And, you know, in the 6th house, you know, that has to do with habits and routines. So exercise is great. So yeah, wherever Mars is for you guys, you know, activate that in the way it needs to be activated. Don't like do something you wouldn't typically do or don't enjoy doing. If anything, that lava I mentioned earlier isn't being cooled off for you guys. You're not the volcano, but you're like alchemizing that volcano. Instead of cooling off and cooling down, you guys are taking it into your own hands, creating magic with it. This is a very, very magical card. You know, we do have, it's known as like the Star of David, but it's, you know, I associate it with Metatron, like heavily, which is still like associated with like Jewish mysticism. Is that the word? Yeah. And Jewish occultism, Metatron, because he's one of the archangels. In fact, he's like the archangel, right? He's the best. So maybe you need to get touch with Metatron. Metatron is the archangel that sits at the top of the tree of life, and he delivers, he's God's scribe, you know, he delivers messages. He keeps all the secrets of the universe, and the symbol, Metatron's cube, is said to be his heart. So maybe you need to activate your heart chakra. If it's not overactivated, you know, activate that. Get creative. So I did mention about my Mars sign, and said something about creativity. So you need to get creative in your own Mars energy way. You know, if you need help with that, you can leave a comment below and I can help you and tell you, you know, tell me what sign and house your Mars is in, and I can give you some insight into how to activate it. Cool stuff though, right? I like seeing this. I know I'm kind of like not, you know, I don't know. I may not sound very enthusiastic, but I do like seeing this for Capricorn, because they just carry a lot in general. But you know, this is a good sign that you're on the right path to keep pushing forward, to alchemize your own fire, to take matters into your own hands. So we're gonna end the reading here. I do apologize for how late this is, and I do apologize if this was kind of weird, a weird reading, or just like not what you expected. We will do mid-month check-ins next month, and those will just be quick videos. I hope to make them only like 20 minutes long. We'll see how long they are. We're just gonna check in, nothing predictive. We're just gonna see what's happening for you. So, all right, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Love you.